All right, we're looking at about a minute, maybe a little bit less. We've got everybody on the track. Tucson, the Saddle Tramps in black. V-Town, Derby Dames in white. How's it going?
I'm great. It's like we've done this before already today.
Recently, too.
Yeah, as in like a few hours ago almost.
Yeah.
All right. Well, skating for the Saddle Tramps today, our wonderful hometown team and hosts of Dust Up Double 2019 in the Black Like You Said party. 106, Mad Hater. 11, Daddy. 122, Cashmere. 15, Lola Bunny. 16, Scrappy McNasty. 25, Lana Del Soleil. 311, Cashmere. Okay. 3381, Hella Naughty. 420, Pariah Carey. 434, Mona Handful. 505, Cherry Popper. 5599, Ionic Storm. 68, Heidi Fox It Up. 717, Mystery Meat. 808, Purple Raina. 84, Jaws Breaker. And 9, Captain Emasculator.
And we'll go through the V-Town roster in just a few moments as we are off and running Hella Naughty versus...
That is Talia.
Yes, it is.
I don't even need to see her number. I recognize how she skates already.
I was thinking the same thing. The thing that threw me is Daddy on Tucson has a very similar stance also to Talia, so I'm glad you caught it because it took me a second.
I'm very excited actually to see Talia and Daddy hopefully jam against each other because they're both extraordinarily fast and agile, and I want to see what that looks like.
Absolutely. On the jammer line, Mona Handful up against 240 Bergie Knights, who may have a name change in the near future. We don't.
That may or may not be our fault. We can either take credit or not.
Or blame.
Blame, right. Credit or blame.
Put it on
decision.
Twitter. All right, we are off. Mona working the inside. Actually, both jammers on the inside line. Mona going through the center.
Two in a row for V-Town. Bergie Knights.
Bergie coming up against the pack. Looks like we've got a pack advantage. Tucson, 2 blockers. Bergie on the hop. Calls off the jam. 1 point going on the board. V-Town. On the jammer line, going into jam number 3, Taylor Swift versus number 8-4. Had me on the wrong side, Jaws Breaker. Official timeout called.
Jaws Breaker is just really excited and was ready to go. So how about you introduce the lovely V-Town Derby Dames to us?
Fantastic idea. Number 10, Mia Love You Long Time. Number 11, Talia. 116, Bone Crusher. 1309, Rambo. 18, Taylor Swift. 1976, Strawberry Champagne. Number 21, Benton Boppin. 240, Bergie Knights. Number 3, Dread. 314, Activist. 316, Riveter Rosie. 357, Clock Cleaner. Number 5, Rita Villain. Number 7, Lucky Eddie. Number 8, Bad Juju. 805, Zelda Fitzgerald. 821, Little Red Kaboom. 911, Pyro Princess. 9975, Gymnasty. And number 36, Captain of the Dames, Busty Chops.
Jaws Breaker out there jamming unopposed as during that official timeout, official timeout, the V-Town Derby Dames jammer reported to the penalty box. Jaws Breaker picking up that lead jammer and 4 points.
Dun-dun. Dun-dun. Jaws Breaker approaching the pack, passes a couple. Multiplayer block at a Sunday Tucson blocker, I believe. Purple Raina to the box. Jaws taking multiple hits from the V-Town blockers, able to stay in play. Pittsburgh Knights able to stay in.
And Jawsbreaker calling it off. Putting 4 on the board. Oh, excuse me, 8 on the board, which means we have our first lead change.
Good, I need some
already.
more water.
Hydrate yourselves, friends. Water is your friend.
Hometown Tucson Saddle Tramps fans in full attendance. On the jammer line, Daddy versus Taylor Swift. Tucson with 3 blockers out, V-Town with 2 blockers out of the box, and both jammers having difficulty. Nobody's come through the pack yet.
Daddy being smart with some great track awareness, recycling, picking up that lead jammer for Tucson.
V-Town cycling 2 blockers into the box. Both jammers back in the pack, working on points. 4 more Saddle Tramps.
Daddy just doing a heck of a job right now, picking up points left and right for the Saddle Tramps.
Nice offense played there. You're probably going to hear this a few times by Mystery Meat from Tucson. Daddy just avoiding the track cut, yielded position to the outside. Kaler came out, cleared an initial pass. 2 points more for Tucson. 10-point jam puts the Saddle Tramps up 18 to V-Town's Dames with 5.
Saddle Tramps cheering section over there in turn 1.
And turn 4 too, there's a few. I heard them, but
we're in turn 4.
I didn't say who they were. Hellenati up 3-1-6 in the white. That is going to be Riveter Rosie.
But Helen Naughty pulling out a lead jammer. Riveter Rosie got a couple last blockers to clear. Last one of Purple Arena clears it. Woo! Fancy toe stop footwork by Helen Naughty, picking up 4 points.
That jam was an exhibition of some of the best jamming you could see. Riveter Rosie was working great work on the blockers. They waterfalled on the backside. And at that moment, Hellenati, shortly after, came out with a spin on the curve. Masterful jamming all around. 4-3-4, Mona Handful against jamming for the first time. Number 3, Dread for V-Town. Dread comes through, lead jammer, V-Town.
Mona hit to that outside.
Pile up coming out of turn 1.
Couple of folks getting knocked to that outside on the other side of all of the people. But Jared is through for 4 points.
Tucson with a new jammer. Mystery Meat taking the star on the star pass. Dread working to stretch the Saddle Tramps forward. Spin move on the outside. 4 points on the board. V-Town. Jawsbreaker versus Talia on the line.
And Jaws Breaker pulling out lead. Talia still stuck behind those Saddle Tramp defenses.
Talia, the lateral moves on the curve, outside line, swerves into lane 1 on the inside, back to the out, 4 points rewarded. Talia still working against the Tucson defense, trying to push forward. Talia, one more to beat. Talia's through. Pack still moving, almost full speed into turn 1. And Jaws Breaker calls off the jam. 4 more points on the board.
Team timeout being called by V-Town.
So that puts the score at Tucson 31, V-Town 13. Palindrome score. Take another sip.
Yeah, that means you get to drink some water.
Must keep drinking.
Just stay hydrated, just stay hydrated. I'm gonna drink so much water today, guys.
You don't even know, in the middle of the desert. So as the timeout running through here, let's go ahead and go through our officials with Tucson here in Dust Devil. So we're looking at Ultraviolet Blue, Demolisher, Needle Fury, Jennifer, Snarkomedes, Extra Crispy, Zoonotic, Pat Sweeney, Catastrophe, Nitsuji, Danger Muffin, Dillygaff, Graphy, Jose Conscado, Noah Fallon, X-Ray Ted, and Fibonacci.
Officials are the best.
Always props to the officials, skating and non. And we are off, so that looks like 2-4-1-0, I believe, in white. 2-4-0, excuse me, Virgie Knights.
As well as Mad Hater, taking the star for the first time for the Saddle Tramps.
Virgie comes through, lead jammer, V-Town. Hater trying to push to the forward, 2 V-Town blockers left after a bridge is dropped. Virgie's bringing all the rest of the blockers. Hater's through, everybody's in scoring position. I'm seeing a track cut hand signal, and there's the exit. And that's the jam. 3 points on the board, Saddle Tramps. So it looks like Lana Del Slay from Tucson's going to go to the box for the moment. Part of the beauty of when you got the hometown, and I love this at my home venue, when it's so loud, the refs have to remind a couple times, hey, no, that is a penalty on you. Go to the box.
Yep. We got Kaylor Swift out there for V-Town with a star, going up against Daddy with a star for Saddle Tramps.
Pack advantage for V-Town. Daddy trying to take the outside line. V-Town blockers shut the hips. Kaylor Swift comes through, picks up lead.
Daddy making quick work of that pack. Clears the initial pass.
Kaylor Swift picking up 4 points, calls off the jam just before I think Daddy literally hit the pack on the 5th whistle. Got to get there before the 4th.
Riveter Rosie with the star for V-Town. And Helen Naughty with the star for the Saddle Tramps. That last V-Town blocker release from that RollerCon penalty box. Riveter Rosie picking up a lead jammer. Helen Naughty clears her initial as well. Both able to pick up points. Riveter Rosie picking up a couple of points, I think. Not sure. I don't know.
Little convening.
3 points for Riveter Rosie.
Looks like the official review, V-Town was asking for an illegal contact penalty at the end of the jam. The no call stood, so that official review is lost. On the jammer line, Mona Handful versus Dread. And Mona Handful comes through. Mona Handful, somebody that Tucson is happy to have back on the track yesterday in a fantastic move of sportswomanship. Had to give up a skate to a teammate who had malfunctions and puts 4 points on the board here. Dread comes through, 4 on the board for V-Town.
Both teams losing a blocker. Both teams losing a blocker to that penalty box. Mona picking up 3 more for 7 in total. Saddle Tramps slowly increasing that lead to 11 points now.
And speaking of 11,
11, that is Talia's number, who happens to be wearing the star for V-Town.
up against Jaws Breaker for Tucson. Jaws actually shoved into the V-Town blockers, moved the Tucson blockers. That allowed Talia to pick up lead. V-Town. Talia knocked out of bounds on the curve, recycled back by Mystery Meat, calls off the jam.
No points on the board, but still a fast jam to see.
On the jammer line for the first time today, Pariah Carey for Tucson. Up against Bergie Knights for V-Town. Bergie Knights cycle to the inside. Pariah Carey trying to push from the outside. Now has to get around her own Tucson blockers as well. Pack picks up speed. Bergie's got one to beat. Knocked out of bounds at the last second by Emma Escalator. Pariah Carey, lead jammer.
Pariah with that inside line and a pirouette, picking up 4 points for the Saddle Tramps.
So it looks like Emasculator is going to head to the box to meet with Cherry Popper from Tucson. So that's going to give a pack advantage to V-Town, but Pariah Carey's still working on points. Calls off the jam. 3 more on the board. 7 points altogether on that jam. Quick off-the-track note for Pariah Carey, a fantastic Derby Twitter member but also one of the top officials helping out with Dust Devil. So big thanks to Helen Naughty now jamming, Kaylor Swift for V-Town, but especially Helen Naughty, Mystery Meat, Pariah Carey, and everybody who's helped out with Dust Devil. And we're off. Kaylor Swift takes the inside line to get past her own blockers, working the outside line. Tucson holds on. Helenati, lead jammer.
Mystery Meat gave Helenati just enough of a little bump to push her forward to get past, to have that momentum to clear.
Big hit at the end against Helenati. Kaylor Swift comes through. Kaylor's able to put up 2. Helenati putting 3 points on the board. Riveter Rosie versus Daddy on the jammer line. Daddy working from the outside, inside, almost had a move on the center of the V-Town defense. Riveter Rosie pushing forward, stretching the Tucson blockers. Stays in bounds on the outside line, comes into the inside line. Daddy trying to move lateral. Lead jammer, V-Town.
Riveter Rosie is just on fire, being able to pick up lead jammer and points.
Daddy with the star stash able to clear initial pass, so blockers are all moving. Riveter calls off the jam. 4 points for V-Town Derby Dames.
Slowly but surely, V-Town chipping away at that little bit of a lead that the Saddle Tramps had.
Shout out to our producer, Joe Adino, who caught this slowly but surely is actually on FOCO. But I appreciate what you were saying.
Ha. Ha.
Dread in white for V-Town versus Mona Handful in black for Tucson. Mona just knocked out of bounds. That springs Dread. Lead jammer, V-Town. Track cut called, gonna send somebody to the box. And it looks like that's Mona Handful, so Dread gets 4 points and power jam.
Dread coming all along. One last blocker to beat. Beat she does. That was a nice little combo there by 505 Cherry Popper and Mystery Meat.
Outside line, Dread just meets Mystery Meat full force. Pack is stretched, one bridge dropped. Out of plays called. Dread is free, 4 points on the board, and calls the jam. So Dread taking advantage, 12 points on the board, taking advantage of the first jammer penalty against Tucson. That puts V-Town within 1 point. 48 for the Saddle Tramps, 47 for the Dames. Now V-Town's on the track, and I'm... Timeout.
And there it is.
Always have an appreciation for a team that calls the timeout at the 5 second.
Yep.
Take every second you can of that time.
100%. So with Tucson taking a team time out, so we are about 20 minutes into this first half, and we've got a 1 point game.
I feel some water coming on.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Tucson would prefer it doesn't happen, and I'm guessing that's what they're working on right now. So it looks like 7-9 in favor of V-Town in lead status. So just about a one lead swing. All right, there's a rolling whistle. Jaws Breaker versus Talia on the jam line. Penalty box from Roller Con and Xfinity is empty, so we've got 80 wheels on the track. And here we go. Daddy getting some offensive help and pushing forward into the Tucson defense and picks up lead. Talia for V-Town picks up lead. Jaws has initial pass cleared.
Got a very fast pack happening as it was an outright foot race. No points being called.
You want to guess who made that hit? Mystery Meat. You're going to hear it all day long. On the jammer line, Matt Hayter, Burgie Knights. Blockers all setting up on the pin. And Berge has lead.
Mad Hater out there with the star, but Berge calling it off. Daddy with the star for the Saddle Tramps. Kaylor Swift with the star for V-Town.
Kaylor Swift inside line, picks up lead. That's the 5th straight lead for V-Town. Kaylor with the hop on turn 2, just out of bounds, recycle back.
And Daddy clears that initial pass. Kaylor Swift picking up a few points, calling it off. 4 points. V-Town sitting at 55 to the Saddle Tramps 48.
Riveter Rosie versus Pariah Carey on the line. Both teams sending a blocker to the box. V-Town jammer back in play. Past 1 Tucson blocker. Lead jammer, Pariah Carey, Tucson. Pariah coming by the Tucson bench, took the call, called the jam.
Jared with the star for V-Town. Hellenati for the Saddle Tramps. 2 blockers in the box for V-Town, 1 for Saddle Tramps. Hellenati being able to capitalize on that smaller pack, picking up lead jammer. Hellenati hit to that inside, calling it off just as Jared is coming through. Jaws Breaker and Talia jamming for their respective teams.
Jaws Breaker able to take the outside line. Falls down though, not able to. But there it is, lead jammer. Pack moving full speed. Jaws calls off the jam. No points on the board.
Under 6 minutes in this first half. Well, we've had a couple of jams back to back now with no points.
Daddy just able to avoid the track cut on the outside. Track cut's going to send V-Town. The jammer, this is going to be a power jam and lead jam for Daddy.
Daddy wanting to capitalize on this, putting some points up on the board.
Nope. Track cut.
So we will have a jammer flip-flop.
As well as the 2-minute jam with the lost lead.
Bergie back out there jamming for V-Town.
Nope. Now Bergie's headed to the box on a forearm penalty. So back-to-back jammer penalties. Daddy's back out, knocked out of bounds. We've got skaters back on track. So Bergie Knights is going to go ahead and continue to serve the penalty. This is going to be a power start for Pariah Carey. The official review, what it looks like, Tucson was asking for a penalty from Bergie Knights coming out of the penalty box the first time, knocking a chair over, which is a penalty in the penalty box. However, if I'm not mistaken, what matters is that the official review was declined. So the refs did not agree. However, if I remember right, the penalty is that the chair actually does have to hit somebody, one of our NSOs, or you have to come in too hot on it. So at any rate, that didn't happen. Tucson has lost their official review for the first time, and Bergie will not serve an extra penalty.
I can't remember if they've changed. I know they just did a recent update. Last I knew, it was the NSO or any of the NSOs had to be jostled or in some way, shape, or form move to stay, either get out of the way or anything like that for the penalty to be valid.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to put it.
As far as I understand the rule, yeah, I completely agree. So Pariah Carey on the line for the power start for Tucson. Little jockeying for position by the blockers. Blockers moving up toward the pivot line for an old school start. Pariah coming outside. Knocked down 2 more white jerseys in front. There it is, lead jammer, Pariah Carey.
Bergie released from that penalty box.
Pariah Carey knocked down. Bergie working on initial pass. Pariah Carey recycled back behind 2 V-Town blockers who are not going to pick up a third on the way. And Pariah Carey headed to the box with a leading with the head or penalty. So this is going to be a 2-minute jam and a power jam for V-Town. Bergie trying to use the toe stops on the inside line. Finally stopped, having to work to the outside a little more. Multiplayer block called against Tucson blocker. That's going to give Bergie a little bit of air up front. 2 blockers to beat. Fantastic penalty kill by Tucson. Bergie trying to clear through for points. There we go, last set of hips. 4 points on the board.
Bergie able to work through and around Purple Reina for that final point of 4. Bergie coming back in as Pariah Carey as coming back to that pack as well. Bergie picking up that 4 points, while Pariah is still fighting past those last few blockers.
4 more on the board. So at the end of that jam, 4 points Tucson, 8 points V-Town. That gives V-Town a 10-point lead, 63-53. Helenati versus Kaylor Swift.
Empty penalty box means full track. And of course, as I say that, whistles are blowing.
So it looks like Helen Naughty and Mystery Meat both headed to the box, and V-Town picks up lead with Kaylor Swift.
And this also gives Kaylor Swift a power jam.
Good move, riding the blockers to the outside in the center of the track, steps inside, 4 points on the board.
Kaylor working through that pack, picking up another 4 more as Helen Naughty's released from that penalty box.
Helen Naughty bringing Mystery Meat along as well for some offensive help out of the box. Helen Naughty got one more V-Town blocker, is able to clear initial pass. Kaylor Swift knocked down, and Kaylor's headed to the box with a back block. So it's a Tucson power jam and a lost lead.
So this will run the full 2 minutes.
Offensive help coming for Helen Naughty, but the V-Town blockers reformed in front. Yep, direction penalty called on Mia.
And just as that jam comes to its conclusion, Helen Naughty picking up 4 points for the Saddle Tramps. So with that, V-Town picked up 9 points, Saddle Tramps picking up 4, and that is the end of the first half.
Six Tucson Jammers.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Oh, so 6 Tucson Jammers, 5 V-Town Jammers so far.
Couple things that kind of jump out from that first half. Dread with the top scoring jam for V-Town, 24 points. Jaws Breaker for Tucson putting up 16 points. V-Town had 9 leads. Tucson had 7 leads. That feels very, very small.
12 and 13.
Thank you. 12 and 13, so again, very close. I don't know how you have 16 leads and 25 jams. Tucson also ended the half with penalties in the last 3 for their jammer, last 3. And so this is going to start out with Helen Naughty in the box and a power start
For Talia.
for V-Town.
Talia picking up that lead jammer.
Talia one more to beat, able to pass hips, 4 points on the board. Talia picks up Mia on the way out of the penalty box, brings into the pack. Able to pass Purple Reina, 4 points on the board. And Helen Naughty's back on the track, able to pass everyone, clears initial pass.
And Talia picking up another 4 points, calling it off.
Fantastic juke, shoulders went in, hips went out, skates follow the hips. Talia was able to come out untouched. Bergie Knights versus Jaws Breaker on the jam line.
Oh my goodness. Saddle Tramps taking that lead. Jaws Breaker.
Bergie able to stay inbounds, inside line, skate. Jaws gets the call from the bench, calls off the jam. 4 points, Saddle Tramps.
4 point Saddle Tramps being able to hold V-Town scoreless that jam.
On the jammer line, Kaylor Swift, Pariah Carey.
We've seen this matchup before.
Kaylor slides out with the Tucson blocker.
Kaylor Swift has just some incredible speed and agility with being able to juke back and forth, slowly working through that pack of skaters in white. Is Pariah Carey. And work she does. Pariah Carey picking up that lead jammer.
Pariah Carey with some top efficiency. 4 out of 4. Lead jams. Calls off the jam. No points. V-Town 1 point Tucson. Riveter Rosie, Hellenati on the line.
Both jammers want to be at the same spot as the other jammer. One goes out, one goes in. Hellenati hit to that inside, having to recycle. Coming up against that 3 wall.
Looks like a multiplayer block. Is going to send a Tucson blocker to the box.
And Hellenati clears that pack first, picking up a lead jammer. Riveter Rosie needing to clear Purple Reina. Makes that initial pass as well.
Believe that was Bone Crusher with the hit against Hellenati. Hellenati came into the back of the pack. Hard hit. Knocked her to the floor. Makes the call off, an easy decision. Jaws Breaker versus Dread on the jam line.
Saddle Tramps with a 1 blocker in the box. But Jaws Breaker fighting.
Wow, bang, bang with the jammers in the front. Dread got caught at the last possible moment by a Tucson blocker. That allowed Jaws to pick up lead. Four points.
4 points for Jaws Breaker. The last couple of jams being able to hold V-Town scoreless.
Good to see points on the board. We've had 5 scoreless jams by either team, which again is usually a sign of good jamming by both sides. But that time 4 points on the board is an improvement for Tucson. Talia versus Pariah Carey.
Talia finding that outside lane, picking up a lead jammer before that apex between turns 1 and 2 even.
So Pariah Carey's streak of 100% lead broken. Talia now trying to pick up points. 4 points on the board. Star pass successful. Pariah Carey handing it off to Ionic Storm. Jam's called off. Looks like, I'm going to say that's 4. Yep. 4 more for V-Town. So with that 8-point jam, V-Town at 92, Tucson 66 in the second half. Bergie Knights versus Hellenati on the jam line.
Hellenati getting hit to the inside. Recycling, looks like that is 3-1-1 Cashmere heading to that penalty box for the Saddle Tramps.
Helinati picks up lead for Tucson. Knocked out of bounds to the inside of the track. Helinati sees Berge. While coming back, calls off the jam. It's our 6th scoreless jam so far in this game.
The internets want to wish Lucky Eddie from V-Town a happy birthday.
Yay!
You can thank the internets.
Thank you, Internet.
Kaylor Swift versus Jaws Breaker. Tucson blockers. The inside lane was just open enough. Kaylor Swift picks up lead. Apex hop, just to be safe.
Always better to be safe and re-enter than potentially get that penalty, because if you're supposed to be scoring points, you can't do that if you're sitting in the penalty box.
And 30 seconds is a long time. Jaws Breaker coming around the curve. Bench says, come around the curve a little faster. So picking up speed. Kaylor Swift picks the points, calls off the jam. So 4-3-4, Mona handful out for Tucson. Up against 3-1-6 in the white, that's Riveter Rosie. Rosie pushing forward. Mona on the inside line. Back to the center, comes back in. Mona's got one more white jersey in front. There it is, lead jammer.
Riveter Rosie was recycled in front of two blockers 3 different times. And that gave Mona the opportunity to pick up that lead jammer status.
So another double-aught jam, 0-0 all around.
66 Saddle Tramps, 96 V-Town.
Dread versus Mad Hater. Penalty box is clear. Hater on the outside, Onyx Storm with some offensive help. Hater got lead, Tucson. Track cut called against Dread. This is going to be a power jam, Tucson. Forearm, excuse me.
Penalties from sideways always look a little weird.
Got to give the officials some credit here, Dust Devil, though. They're throwing them high enough to be able to see them, which thank you for that from the announcers.
Indeed.
Mad Hater happy to not have a penalty, coming back into the back of the pack.
Mad Hater calling it off at the request of her bench.
Palindrome score. Tucson 69, V-Town 96.
Nice.
With Dread still in the penalty box, this is a power start for the Saddle Tramps. Jaws Breaker picking up that lead jammer.
Pile up right before turn 1. And a low block called against Dread. So another jammer penalty. Another power jam for Tucson. Jaws hears the bench, calls the jam. Official timeout called. Just going to put this note out here. If you're throwing a tournament anytime soon in WFTDA, invite Happy Valley. They're fun and off the track. All right, so an official review. Got all the skating officials in the center. Little conference going on. And on the note with Happy Valley, their rivalry with Tucson will continue tonight at the after party. La Cocina at 8 o'clock. Apparently the gauntlet has been dropped. All right, Helenati with the power start for Tucson.
Tucson's got one blocker in the box.
Helenati able to pick up lead, but just knocked out of bounds and recycled. But lead jammer, Tucson. Dredd back in the pack, trying to clear initial pass. Inside line, outside line. Helenati stopped by the V-Town blocking tripod. Inside lane one, and the last blocker misses. Helenati calls it off with Dredd approaching. 4 more points on the board. So V-Town now able to put Talia out on the line up against Pariah Carey. Last 3 jams, they had Dredd on the line because of those penalties. Tucson able to ice. So Dredd going to go ahead and take a well-deserved break for a bit. Pariah Carey versus Talia. Talia met with the Tucson blockers, knocked in bounds. Pariah Carey working against the V-Town blockers on the front side, trying to stretch the defense. Blockers now in a mashup in turn 2. Lead jammer, Tucson. And calls it. Nope. So a quick call off with both jammers out of the pack. Again, a 0-0 pass, or jam. Puts the score at 96 for V-Town, 77 for the Saddle Tramps.
If this continues for the next 15 minutes, neither of these teams will break the 100 mark.
I don't see this continuing like that. Mad Hater. Bergie Knights. At Tucson, tripod is not moving in the back. The V-Town tripod isn't moving in the front. That'll usually break it up. Lead jammer, Tucson. Hater's got one more white jersey. There's a reform in front. The bracing comes up. Tucson doing a great job on the backside of the Bergie. 4 points on the board.
Mad Hater doing their best, but hit to the inside. They're going to have to reshuffle.
And it looks like Bergie Cuts called for a track cut.
So with that, jam is called. 3 more points. That is a total of 7 points for the Saddle Tramps. We are back to a just about neck and neck bout, 12 points. This will be a power start.
So Mona Handful's going to try to continue what is now a 6-jam streak of lead for Tucson. Forearm penalty is going to send a V-Town blocker to the box. Mona's trying to work. One more blocker. Tucson has a V-Town blocker held back. Pack is in the back. There it is.
Mona picking up lead jammer status after pushing for almost a full 30 seconds there. Mona picked up a lead jammer, but Bergie is out of the box.
4 more on the board for Tucson. On the jammer line, Kaylor Swift versus Jaws Breaker. Tucson defenders setting up on the backside, just barely knocked out of bounds. Kaylor Swift wisely yields position, able to take the outside line, inside, lead jam. Tucson.
Kaylor Swift utilizing that agility to juke and jump back and forth, but stuck behind that wall of saddle tramps. Meanwhile, Jaws Breaker picking up 4 points.
Kaylor trying to break out for initial. Tucson defenders having to stretch the pack. Jaws knocked out of bounds. Pack is completely spread out. We got bridges everywhere. Kaylor breaks out, clears initial pass. Tucson blockers come back to the pack. And that's the jam.
Tucson calling it off, 3 points. Team timeout being called by V-Town, or excuse me, yeah, V-Town. We have a 1 singular point game.
You know what's caused that? 29-point run by the Saddle Tramps.
Whew. So that is what, the last how many jams? Last how many jams?
8 jams.
Last 8 jams that the Saddle Tramps have been able to hold V-Town scoreless.
And lead, yes.
And lead,
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
So if you ever need an example of a time when running short jams, get the points and get off the track has worked well, just pull the tape on this game. It's working right now. Now that also tells you why this timeout is so good for V-Town. V-Town wants to break that streak immediately. So
we have been averaging basically 30-second jams.
and boy, are my arms tired.
30 seconds to jam, 30-second resets.
Riveter Rosie versus Helenati. Naughty trying to push forward, trying to carry the streak. There it is, lead jammer, Tucson. Helenati going to try to take advantage, having 1 fewer blocker out for V-Town. Comes out, Helenati's got points, calls off the jam. Riveter Rosie got out, put the pressure on. Take a sip, that's a lead change. So for those keeping track, Tucson drank a Coke at halftime. 14 of 17 jams in this half. They've held scoreless, held V-Town scoreless. Excuse me, leads, not scores, excuse me.
Official timeout happening. Helenati reporting to the penalty box.
So it looks like, yep, this is going to be a power start for Talia. Going to go ahead and do her best to make sure able to break the lead streak and definitely wants to get some points on the board for the team in white. All right, we're off. V-Town blocker setting up to the front. Tucson in the back. Talia working the center to the outside. Tucson doing their best to keep Talia away from any offensive help. Reform up on turn 2. There it is, lead jam, V-Town. Talia now approaching, trying to get points. There's one pass for sure. Pressing the tripod. Dropped a bridge. Multiplayer block's going to send Purple Rain out of the box. Talia, there's 4 points on the board and an out-of-play block. Guess who's back on the track, though?
4 points means we've got yet again another lead change mid-jam. Talia picking up, looks like 4 more and calling it off.
So a fantastic 8-point jam. You said it earlier, there's the lead change, V-Town up 104, breaks the 3 digits to 99.
2 blockers in the box for the Saddle Tramps. Kaylor Swift out there for V-Town. Finding that inside the line. Hop skip picking up lead jammer.
Mad Hater with the star. Hands it off, so there's a star pass successful too. Ionic Storm. Kaylor Swift working on points. Knocked out of bounds by Mystery Meat. Calls off the jam. 4 points on the board for V-Town. Riveter Rosie versus Pariah Carey.
And team timeout being called by Tucson. With 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining, we've had about 22 minutes of roller derby and 19 jams.
Okay, that chant I understand. Thank you for that. Happy Valley showing some love to all of the volunteers so far. I've heard NSO chants, official chants. There was an announcer chant.
It's almost like Happy Valley's, I don't know.
Don't say
Happy?
it. Don't. Oh.
Oh. We love you. I can't do it with a microphone, but I love you guys too, so. Teamwork.
All right, enough of that. Back to being Molly Morbids, not happy. All right, that's it.
There's nothing that says that you can't be both morbid and happy.
Rumph. And get off my lawn.
Grateful Dead, is that what, same principle?
On the jammer line, Riveter Rosie versus Pariah Carey.
Both teams with full contingents of skaters out there. Pariah pushing at the front, Riveter pushing at the back, but Riveter Rosie picking up a track cut. So this is a power jam for Pariah Carey.
Tucson blockers stopping in varying degrees to go ahead and give Pariah the advantage, trying to push for the out of play. There it is!
6 out of 7 for Pariah or Tucson?
6 of 7 leads for Pariah. Now Pariah's not happy with that percentage, wants the points to come with it. Multiplier block. There's 4 points, Tucson.
That is Lucky Eddie, the birthday girl, going to that penalty box for V-Town.
4 more on the board for the Saddle Tramps. Pariah Carey with the wheel clack coming in. Stomp, 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 stomp. One more white jersey in front. Knocked out of bounds.
Nice little star stash there by 316 Riveter Rosie. Pariah Carey picking up 11. Is it 11? 11 points. And yet again, we have another lead change. 110-108.
The fifth lead change.
Just under 7 minutes.
Talia versus Jaws Breaker. Talia trying to work the outside line. Pile up right off there, the jam line. Jaws trying to press forward. Lead jammer, beat down.
Talia with some fancy backwards skating there. Says, I'm going to pick up some points. But Talia's coming up against that triangle of Saddle Tramp blockers.
Tucson putting the 3 blockers in a small line, and then it turned into a tripod. Jaws coming out. Talia knocked out inside. Calls the jam. 4 points on the board. Four, 3, 4 in black. That's Mona Handful. 1, 8 in white. That's Kaylor Swift on the jammer line. For those keeping track, that's another lead change.
Tucson's chance filling the venue.
Lead jammer.
Mona picking up lead jammer and calling it off just about as quickly.
Lots of credit to Kaylor Swift there. Kaylor Swift came out, was probably about 8 feet behind Mona. I don't even think Mona had a chance to look back yet, but the bench caught it. Mona called it off in time. No points. Hellanati versus Berge Knights. A little bit of jammer defensive action along with the blockers.
Hellanati been hit to the inside, drawn back to turn 4. And picking up a penalty.
That allows Berge to get out. Picks up lead. Feet down.
Berge meeting that tripod of Saddle Tramp blockers.
Outside lines open. 4 points on the board. Berge passes one. Tucson drops a little offensive help because Hellanati's back. Naughty inside line. Berge comes out. 4 more on the board for V-Town. Naughty inside line, center, inside.
Hellanati coming up just as about some points are going to be put on the board for the Saddle Tramps. Berge calls it off.
V-Town needed those 9 points, came at just the right time for him. It's an 11-point lead. And an official review.
Official review.
So it looks like the official review has gone into the refs. Stay with me. I better not sing. Might get a copyright violation. Hello, YouTube. Not gonna lie, this is my first opportunity to enjoy live broadcast, and looking back on my Twitter feed and realizing, don't look at that before a game. It's not a good idea. There's a lot of love out there, but there's enough comments out there that they're beautifully helpful and they're good things, but they just kind of mess my head up. So.
Yep. You know, we try our best, and if we make a mistake, we own it and try to not do it again, and learn from other mistakes that have been made. Talia out there with the star for V-Town, and that is Jaws Breaker with the star for Tucson. Jaws Breaker picking up lead jammer.
Pack picks up speed coming into turn 2, able to stop. Jaws Breaker takes the hit and bounce. Call off just late. Oh, V-Town able to put 3 points up. Let's see what Tucson can do. 1 point.
Jaws Breaker, kind of took a little break on the floor. Wanted to make sure everything was all good. And then, called it out.
And in fairness, Talia is a super fast jammer, so you may not expect her to be where she is. The official review that came earlier, and it's 2 points to Tucson. The official review was asking for a forearm penalty. Apparently not enough information given. No call stands. Tucson loses their official review. But that's in the past. Time to move forward. 316 Riveter Rosie in white. 106 Matt Hayter in black. Hayter picks up lead.
Matt Hayter able to just squeeze through on that turn 1 inside line.
Hayter slips on the straightaway, but back up almost immediately into the pack for points. Three points both, but that apex hop looks like didn't quite go as planned. Riveter Rosie's back up, though, so that's a good thing to see.
Settle Tramps at 115, V-Town 127.
Was waiting for that. Official timeout at the 5-second call.
The officials are discussing.
Well, I'm going to say this quietly because I don't really want to yell it over the in-house. The main reason the officials are being so careful, it's a 12-point game with 13 seconds left in the second half. Yeah. So I'm not going to lie, Joe, this is tough because if I say some of these stats, that could be coaching with this close. Joe has some of the bits. Yeah, we'll wait until we see who comes out on the jammer line. Some great stats that are going to be rather important on this final jam, but if I say it now, it could influence things, so we're going to hold off.
I'm sorry, did I just hear you say that we will have 51 jams? 25 jams in the first half. This will be number 26 in the second half. What is like the most jams that have ever happened?
Okay, this one's a big one. We're going to see Jaws Breaker in a power start for Tucson. with a 12-point disadvantage and 13 seconds left in the game. Point differential, actually 9 points, excuse me. High block is called. So Jaws Breakers headed to the box. That releases Riveter Rosie, who's going to try to pick up lead. Riveter Rosie into the Tucson defense. Lead jammer, V-Town. Riveter calls off the game. That's the clock unofficially. V-Town 124, Tucson 115. Holy smokes.
I'm still just sort of sitting here in awe about, like...
I think everybody is. The whole room just kind of puckered. Great win by V-Town. Great game by Tucson. And that's it. That's the final.
And there we go.
Wow.
Whew. That... That was exciting roller derby.
That's just, you just kind of sit there, look at each other and go, whew.
Like, we just watched that.
All right, after a game like that, I know the moments kind of got us caught up, but huge round of applause to both teams. V-Town now taking their lap on the track, collecting all the congratulations deserved.
Nicely done, V-Town.
Man, wow, that was such a good bout. 51 jams.
And there we have Tucson Saddle Tramps, hometown heroes and hosts. Both of these teams should be so incredibly proud because that was one of the best and most hard and well fought bouts I have seen in a number of years.
You want to, okay, enjoy this real quick. Joe's throwing me the numbers. Let's see some things here. 51 jams, we already knew that.
Yes.
So this game went super fast. Remember at halftime, V-Town was up 72-57. Tucson went on a tear in the middle of the second half. V-Town ended up shutting it down. This game ends with a 9-point difference.
Whew.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, I just don't know what to say that doesn't, I mean, all respect all around to every single skater and ref and official and coach. That's highlight reel.